Hey JYF, welcome back. We're in my kitchen now at the table in the corner where we keep the computer so that I can show you some art projects and give you some things to do to respond to the story that we've been talking about. Okay, this is where it gets good. This is where it gets very, very good because you get to sort of live out little bits of the idea in this story. Little bits of this story can happen to you too in much smaller ways with much less packing than is required to move your whole life. All right, so here's what I've got for you. 3 scaled ideas, probably from simplest to most involved. One is something you can do inside your own house and by yourself if you need to, or you can do it in a group with JYF friends. Second, something you can do outside your house, but just with your own family if you need to keep you safer in these days. Okay, inside the house, by yourself if needed. Outside the house, going to take some activity to get it done. And then third idea is something you can do in community with other people that are part of your church or part of your JYF group. Okay, starting small. Here's idea number 1. Why don't you create some scribble art? Have you ever done this? I did it a lot when I was really young and I came to love it. Haven't done it in years. So this is a scribble. Here's an example of a scribble. It's something that you do really quickly without any thought as to, no plan, without any thought as to what it's gonna be in the end, what you're trying to make or create. You're not really purposefully making anything except a scribble. Here's just how fast it goes. And that's it. That's over. You scribbled. Here's another one. A quick and easy scribble. If you want a challenge round and you already know what the assignment's going to be because you've maybe done this at school, hey, try a scribble with the hand you don't normally write with. An alternate hand scribble, because this is actually harder to do if you're not used to writing with that hand. It'll be trickier and it will almost guarantee that your scribble won't really look like much because it's harder to make it look like anything, even subconsciously. Here's a scribble I did with my left hand because I am right-handed. Okay, so then you take the scribble. Here's the gig. You take the scribble, you hold it the way you drew it, then you twist it again, twist it backwards, all the ways. Just look at the scribble until something appears, some idea of a thing it could be. It might be a real thing, might be an imaginary thing. I'll give you 2 examples. I made this scribble. I started up here with a little line and then it kind of went a little crazy and I just ended because I didn't know what to do. And I didn't really have a plan. And at first I thought, oh, look, that's something. Yeah, that could be a thing. But then I did this and I thought, oh no, that's a thing. I see a picture here. So your assignment when you do scribble art is to scribble, look, and then enhance until the new thing comes into focus. Here's what I did. I traced my scribble just so you could see the difference and the changes. And I made that particular scribble into a butterfly. Easy peasy. Here, we'll try a different one. This is a scribble I did immediately. As soon as I was done, I thought, oh, that's like something under the sea. I can do something with that. So again, I traced it for you. Let's see, am I doing that? And then I added to it until I had an octopus. Nice, right? I love scribble art because you never know where you're going, but you usually end up someplace cool. Something good and interesting almost always develops. And here's a challenge to do it. If you want to do this in JYF group, you could do this in teams. You could do this over Zoom. One of my sons illustrated for us in our little Zoom paddles, our dry erase paddles. One person can make a scribble, and then a team of people can say what they see in it and describe what they see. The more things you see, the more points you get. If you want to make a game of it, it's like boggle for words is how many words can you make out of a set of letters. But boggle for scribbles would be like how many different objects can you see and pull out and maybe draw yourself from a scribble. Here, this kid, to help us, he saw some things and added some pink to illustrate what he saw. Let's see. I did not practice holding these for you, but I bet I can do this. In this scribble, the first 3 things he saw were the flag of a pirate ship right in there, and so he added skull and crossbones. Down there, he thought, oh, that looks like half a hot dog with some swirls, I don't know, of mustard already on it. So he drew a dog, filled in some more mustard, and a bun around it. Then this little piece, he thought could be a banana, clearly. Of course it could be a banana. Or this is kind of interesting. It's an old-timey phone he drew. The dots, imagine them as like the holes in the speakers. The speakers are in the ear part, the receiver, and in the mouth part where you talk. And that little curly pink is the cord. Does it look like I was talking in the phone? Did you get that at all? Those are the first 3 things he saw when I gave him a minute to make a scribble and then like come up with a list of images from his scribble. All right, why do you do that game? You do it just to see that journeys go interesting places that sometimes you can't plan. Art journeys are just like life journeys. Sometimes you don't know where you're going until you get there, and then it's usually pretty interesting. All right, second thing you can do, nature walk. Let's call it that. Yeah, nature walk, but with a little twist. Do you have a trail in your city? Do you have like an outdoor nature trail that the city has built and maintained and like the bikers go on and the joggers use? In my city, that place is called Rose Redmond Trail. It's not far from our house and we know it really well. So we go there and we always go on the same path because we know like so many turns down, go across 2 bridges and then exit the trail and you'll be right behind Andy's Frozen Custard. And that's really like the point of our nature walk, right? Well, I've designed this activity for my kids and for me. Today we're going to take the trail and turn 3 stops before the place we normally turn. We're going to take this little loop that just loops right back around to the main thick big trail. But we never do. We never detour because we're always so intent on the Andy's Frozen Custard, right? Today we're going to take a purposeful detour to change up our nature walk. And we're going to see what new things are there that we've maybe never noticed. We're going to try to notice 3 new things by changing the route of our nature walk. Each of those things are going to be God appearing to us. I know it because God is in all the good stuff, right? So if they see something really cool, like an animal's habitat or signs that an animal has been there, or if they see something really beautiful, like something blooming in July in Texas, that's all going to be signs of God appearing. They were always there. We just didn't notice them when we stuck to our usual trail. So your challenge is to take a nature walk. Do it in a familiar place, but maybe reverse directions. Start at the end if you always start at one spot and end somewhere else. Take the detours. Go on side loops. Maybe go off the trail if you think that's safe and your adults are with you, and look for 3 new things. Here's an alternative. If you have no actual trail to find your nature on, you can use city streets. You can use cars. You can use windows rolled up and air conditioning blasting, but just go a new way. Go to a different part of the place you live. Drive slow and look for God appearing. You're on a journey without an exact destination. You've been sent out, you've left home, you go, you don't exactly know the route, but you expect God to appear on it. And I bet you won't be wrong because God always appears when we're looking. Okay, third thing you can do. There are some young people among us who go out and leave homes more than you all, probably, more than most of you. Those are foster kids, kids in foster care, I should have said. Sometimes they abruptly leave homes, or sometimes they just change homes in the middle of something. And when they do, one of the best gifts that caring agencies can give them is a duffel bag to hold all their goods and some, like a care kit, like extra toiletries and supplies so that they feel like they have things they need and aren't completely without what they need on a journey. There's a group called togetherwerise.org. Let me make sure that's right. I'll double check and try to stick that information in notes. Togetherwerise.org will buy duffel bags for kids who are moving between foster care situations and homes, and it only costs $25 a bag. Now, I don't think each one of you necessarily has $25, but you have some bit of money that could become $25. Maybe you have lots of bits you can throw together and buy multiple $25 duffel bags. I don't know. But maybe talk about some chores you can do to afford to give money away. Talk about how you might ask your church family beyond yourselves for some money you can give away. Talk about which one of the people who work with you could write a letter and send your money and maybe ask for follow-up for how your money got used. I know there's more organizations that help people on the move, and there are more people on the move than just kids, right? There's also refugees, which you may have in your city, and we don't have a lot of in my city. There's also immigrants. There are lots of groups of people on journeys, on the move, and they're learning what we want you to learn, okay? That when you go on a journey with God, you don't ever do it alone. You don't ever end up at a new place all alone. There are always people around who will take an interest and who will help and who will become what we call beloved community. We want you to notice both your surroundings and your community that you already have. We want you to be part of somebody else's beloved community. If you give money to Together We Rise, if you find an immigrant or a refugee organization to give money to, you're doing the same thing. You're being part of somebody else's community, making their journey a little easier, and you're blessing them while you're getting to be a blessing yourself. Okay, those are your challenges for how to engage Genesis 12. I'm going to do 30 seconds of review and then I'm out for the week. In this story, a man named Abram, already 75 years old, his wife named Sarai, his nephew Lot, and all the things they owned together, picked up and left everything that they knew. Their comfortable life went away, and they headed out to something new and a little bit unknown. They had to trust that God would show up in their new place, or that God would show up in a new way, because God's the one that told them to go. When God tells you to go, when God makes promises to human people, there are always blessings to come. And when you go into something new and different, you make community along the way. You find community along the way. You never have to go alone. That's the story of these people who become our Abraham, our Sarah, our ancestors of faith. See you next time. Hope to talk to you again. Have a great week, friends. Bye-bye.